Hi, my name is Lyric, and today we are going to react to Chris Chan, A Comprehensive History, Part 23. Obviously, this is my return on YouTube for a long time, so this is my first reaction to the Chris Chan series in months, but don't worry, it will become more of a daily thing. Well, not daily, but it's going to come a lot more frequent, so we're coming through. So now we're on to part 23. I rewatched the entire series actually in preparation to come back and come back to reacting to the series. So basically where we are right now, Chris is really mad that his site is being filled with these ads about Asper 2, the electric Asperger's type Pokemon. And that's basically the main thing going on at this time. He's making the Sonic 2 comics. We're officially past the dreadful year of 2009, where like more than half of this series has took place in. So many terrible things happened in 2009. But now we're on to 2010. And okay, so let's do predictions on what's gonna happen in the comeback to Chris Chan Comprehensive History. The things that pretty much happen every episode. One is the obvious. He's gonna say that he's straight. He has to confirm that he is straight at least once in this episode, right? Definitely gonna happen. We're gonna have a Sonic shoot. We're gonna have a video where he's addressing the trolls and he's gonna scream at them. He's gonna talk about how he doesn't like Asperger's disease. Probably he's gonna talk about how he hates the homos. We're gonna have a call with one of the trolls where they're just gonna try to grill Chris about his life while not being that much better. Yeah, and probably some Sonic U comics that have some weird pornographic things in them. So yeah, that's what I predict is gonna happen in this Christian episode, because that's what happens in most Christian episodes. Hopefully we get the return of Liquid Chris. He made a brief little appearance in the last episode when he put a comment on one of Chris's videos, but hopefully we get him back because he's by far the best troll. Jack Thaddeus and Clyde Cash are really just not as good. They're just way too harmful like Blue Spike, or they're just not that funny like Clyde Cash and Jack Thaddeus. So, and then we have Alec Benson Leary who's making the Asper Jew ads, which is pretty funny. I kind of like that. But Liquid Chris is by far the best troll, so I hope that he does return. So yeah, let's get into it. Chris Chan Comprehensive History Part 23. Make sure to subscribe and like this video to support a small creator. Want me to continue these videos, and yeah, let's get it. We've never read the disclaimer before, I don't think, in any of these videos. Let's just read this real quick. This content is made with the intention of informing, educating, inquisitive persons and about an often controversial figure by presenting a detailed factual account of events, with minimal spin or twisting of the facts to the best of my abilities. Neither I, Gino Samuel, nor the video itself condone any hostile actions, address, herein and discourage contact, especially that of a malicious nature, with any person featured in this video. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Additional warning: this following video addresses mature themes which may not be suitable for younger audiences. Part 23, I thought we read that part that we see at the beginning every time some way. Good to hear the theme music back. Good to hear the theme music back. Love the theme music.
What is the attraction? What keeps us fascinated? This is the story of Chris Chan.
Let's go, man. Part 23. Shout out Jordan and LeBron and Draymond Green and Mitchell Robinson and Fred VanVleet.
2010, Christian filmed a video in which he sings his own lyrics over a
This is even lower quality than normal. Can we? Okay, this series really shows how durable this damn PlayStation camera is, dude. It's like he's punched it. He's like demolished it. I don't know if he got a different one, but yeah. One day in this series, I think Chris has to get a high quality camera, and the series will just get so much darker from there, and we can see in more detail.
Remixed by musician Moby of the song Mr. Plow, written for an episode of the cartoon series The Simpsons.
Say, what's the name? Christian Chandler. What's that name? Christian Chandler. What's the name? Christian Chandler. C-H-I-S-C-H-A-N.
There's like,
What's the name?
he can misspell his own name. Hold up. What?
Christian Chandler. C-H-I-S-C-H-A-N.
That says Chischchen. You forgot the R. That's funny.
Christian Chandler. You don't need to worry, I'm drawing here. Drawing in cone like pen and marker. My papa was chicken and navy. Christian Chandler. a big surprise. A
Bars.
handful of art is probably enough to love.
MC Autistic.
Then attempts to play a harmonica.
MC High Functioning.
A day later, he made a brief video for the attention of Jack Thaddeus, Alec Benson Leary, Sean August Watley, creator of the comic Sonichu is Dead and regular contributor to the Asperpedia, and the webmaster of the
Oh yeah, I forgot about Asperpedia.
Mao Bamboo Ling.
This message is for
He's got a whole list of people he's got to go after now.
Alec, Sean, Evan, and even Mao. You know what? I dare you four, all four of you, to come to my house and we'll see who stacks out better. The original or you crappy copy.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone actually does show up.
On the 16th, Christian filmed a video attempting to brainwash his trolls by speaking a mix of Spanish and backwards English.
As usual, I will have 2 more pages tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed the last page where Krista finally got out of the mirror. But recently, I am reminded of an old Spanish expression which goes simply as "Tú necesitas u crepsa eta y usino se va per ganar felicidad por vida." A couple of strong verbs
Very
in
advanced.
that statement. Say it with me. U crepsa eta. Crepsa eta.
He's like doing a fucking, yeah, he's like trying to do a backwards message like a fucking Illuminati shit on us.
Y usinos evil. Usinos evil. Alright, stay safe and have a good day.
Trying to hit us with a subliminal message.
The verbal assault continued into January 17th, when, under Vivian G's advice, Chris reviews the entirety of the Asper True story so far and criticizes it.
I am here at this point recording this video to make it perfectly clear, although it was a bit of a mistake for that last video I made. But you know what? Regardless of that video, I should not have had to make such a video, because I could just show you all the evidence that I have just read through the entire bunch of.
Why didn't he just make a new website where they can't purchase this damn ad space? I don't understand. Like, it's because it'd be so easy to get hacked because he makes his password like probably, I don't know, Sonichu123 every time. Like, like he could just so easily ignore all these people, but he always has to make whole arcs about them, whole videos. He just can't ignore people. It's his biggest problem. One of his biggest problems. I don't know if it's his biggest. He has a lot of problems.
Alec, Asper chick. First off, just to name a few things, there are the obvious sturdy slanders and obvious references, to which I mean the old Buddha belly that I used to have, exaggerated man boobs,
I don't know if I used to, my guy.
even the goatee I used to have, I had one time. And he makes his Asper character wear nearly every shirt I wear. Nearly every shirt. And a crappy copy of a medal. My shirts. And then to make matters worse, he goes and besmirches my dog.
Oh, no, not Patty, dude. Don't do that to her.
Crap, by making a crappy copy of my dog.
Don't do that to Patty, man. She didn't do anything wrong.
The spirit of Patty will have his soul for dinner tonight. He will be haunting your nightmares, Mr. Leary. And of course, even including the unapproved recreation of my character, of my person, within his pages,
Yeah, the South Park background.
as you can see right here.
Oh, this is a South Park,
And that even
that looks like a South Park parody right there.
starting on page C29, he sets me on fire. He sets me on fire.
Oh no.
And an even worse, continues let me be on fire on page 30. I swear, if that ain't the most outrageous thing that he has
One day Chris is gonna learn how to screen record and it'll just be over for everyone.
done again.
He's gonna learn how to use OBS.
I could definitely
Well, I don't know if they existed at this time, but there was definitely some way to screen record. There was definitely gaming videos at this time.
reference a few more instances of where he actually is considered peeing
He knows how to record on his PlayStation screen, but doesn't know how to record his computer screen.
himself within his own comic series. Starting, of course, with a few from his first book of graphic nudity or sexual reference. on page
Because clearly none of that in Sonic Youth Comics. Clearly none of that in Sonic Youth
3 of
Comics.
his Zero book. Even worse off, on page 10, and while he's in that Burger King, with all his goddamn homosexual references as well. And he uses uncensored swear words such as shit.
You have full on porn in your comics, Chris. I don't know why you're going after him for this.
Ass. In between all these books, so many goddamn of those, and his A and B books are anti-religious.
Oh no. Sonic Youth is clearly the most religious Christian comic.
Son of a bitch, he's basically being on his own self. Now look, I'll admit I have done my little share of nudity within a few pages.
More than a little share, I would say.
But they were censored by either images of lemon for vagina and bananas for dick.
He can't even say the word.
And it was and that book was finally finalized and organized so that it'd be appropriate for all those of ages TVY7.
It's not a show.
And if I ever said a swear word within my book, I wouldn't censor it. But he does not censor his own swear words.
Oh no.
But like I said, he's basically gone to the thing again. He's basically mocking me with the references of myself. Between the belly, the man boobs, the goatee, the glasses, numerous shirts, a fake medal, wearing a copy of my dog, an unapproved recreation of myself,
Feel bad for his cat.
and my characters, and even sets me on fire. and makes his
I love the way he said that.
his quote unquote Sonic Shoe clone go against me as not being the original creator of the original Sonic Shoe. He wishes he knows my Sonic Shoe, Rose Shoe, and all my electric.
What is this camera angle, dude?
I do, but he cannot because he is not me, the original creator. He is not me. So I send this message again to Alec, Evan, and even Mal. I have less offense with Sean, by the way, but to those three,
Give him a raspberry, man.
die in hell. And I hope the soul of my late dog eats at your souls and kills you in your sleep.
Dang.
But aside from that,
Oh, we've already got one of the things I said at the beginning of the video, by the way. He is yelling at the trolls this entire video, so.
the pages within the so-called Asper series, they are definitely ludicrous and horrendous and horrific. Even as horrific as within Vivian G's own book. And my pastor, Elizabeth Moss, my pastor has read the book from cover to cover, and she hates it.
What? He made his pastor read this shit?
And I don't like it either because
That's hilarious.
it is of disgrace and slander and mockery of my person and my character. Just as
I need to know the lore about why he did that. Has she read the Sonic Youth comics?
treat this
I don't think she'll like those either, man.
worse. The Asper Chew and everything there, that is worse than that book. I'm sorry, Vivian, but that book is just no good. And I'm definitely gonna let my pastor know about the Asperpedia and the Asper Chew, and through all the through her powers within her church and the congregation, and even the FBI.
Why did you always have to call him the FBI?
Minnesota, and take you down personally, Mr. Alec Mason Larry. Your mockery of my person is not appreciated. Other than that, I leave with most everybody else in peace. Have a good day. Except for you three, of which I mentioned earlier.
Shortly after, Asperpedia's Mao made a YouTube response video, but it has since been lost. Meanwhile,
Lost Media.
Wikipedia sysop
Christian Lost Media.
Cogsdev uploaded mailbag 41 for Chris to address, but then soon after moved all non-Asperture related letters to mailbag 42, making 41 a completely Asperture-filled offering. Instead of responding to the messages in any way, Christian deleted all of them and wrote a 7-point manifesto in their place, proclaiming
got
that
mad
he
with-
had no relation to
He's got mad with power.
Asperture nor Alec Benson Leary, and wholeheartedly disapproved of his content. Chris also noticed that Leary introduced more Sonichu characters into his Asperture comics, such as the Chaotic Combo, which led Christian to insert his own parodies of Sonichu parodies from the Asperture comics into his Sonichu comics.
So he's making characters that are parodies of his characters. That doesn't make any sense.
Albeit with new names. He even introduced his own
Fucking
take on
fly.
Asperture, renaming him Mitch Sonichu.
Miss
On
Sonichu.
January 20th, Chris made a drawing asking for people to help Haiti after it was devastated by an earthquake 8 days prior.
Hey, look at
Alec
that.
Benson
Good message. Good message.
Leary had made his own commemorative advert a day after the tragedy, which had been featured prominently on the Wikipedia. Christian's drawing also subtly took a jab at Evan Christopher George, since it featured both Simonchu and Simonla, touting them as a brother and sister team. On January 21st, Christian answered mailbag 43. Chris addressed questions regarding a recent page of issue 10 in which Mitch Sonichu was suggested that he should get a makeover and change his fashion sense for the better, when his appearance strongly resembled Christian himself. There was another correspondence with Evan Christopher George, who was told by Chris an elaborate story in which Evan's creation, Simonchu himself, personally spoke with Simone LaRosechu, who told him that she did not want to return to Evan. In addition, the rejected mailbag section featured a statement from someone who criticized Chris for declaring that Alec was not allowed to bring his Sonichu characters into his own story, when Chris himself had never gotten permission from Sega or Nintendo to place their original characters into Sonichu.
That's
He
true.
also commented that the Wikipedia sysop had no say concerning advertisements, which were crucial in keeping the site running smoothly, and felt that Christian's hand-drawn on paper drawing style was inferior to Alec's digital style. Chris requested that he go f*** himself. In addition,
I see.
he informed Vivian that he would attend
I like the phrasing there that he said. Requested.
his first young adult social club meeting, where he hoped he would get more exposure concerning his comic book work. It was during this meeting
Uh-oh.
that he met a 23-year-old woman, who will be referred to herein as
Oh, I
the
didn't even mention. Oh, did I not mention at the beginning that I think he might get another sweetheart this episode? Because it's been a little bit since he had a sweetheart since Casey broke up with him. He has to have another sweetheart. I mean, come on now. This is the Chris Chan series.
Flower. During her first encounter with Chris, she told him that she was not ready for a relationship, despite the
He's meeting a real life woman this time though, so this is a step forward.
establishing a friendship. Christian, against her wishes, believed that after some time and insistence, he could make her into his girlfriend. On January 22nd, Chris had his first phone conversation with Alec Benson Leary.
Oh, here we go.
Is this Christian Weston Chandler?
This is a big moment. And yes, I said at the beginning, he's gonna have a phone conversation with one of the trolls, and they're gonna start grilling him.
Yes, this is Christian. May I help you?
Hi, Chris. This is Alec Benson Leary. Is it okay if we talk?
Oh, yes. Sure, yes. So,
He's like, oh yeah.
Well, there's a couple things I wanted to talk to you about tonight. First of all, well, I understand you've got a problem with the ads that are on Wikipedia.
Okay, well, yeah. I'll let you have your ads on the Wikipedia, but don't make them too big, and leave them in the sidebar.
Okay.
I do not
There's this fly around me. It's the slowest fly known to mankind. I literally touched the fly and didn't do anything. But I didn't want to just smack my microphone. I don't know what's going on.
want them covering over.
Yeah, he's coming to a compromise here. Okay, at least he's saying he can keep the ads. He's gonna make them where they don't take up all the page.
The introductory box or anything else to where I have to scroll down, even to edit the pages, or even to log in.
Yeah, my friend Mao, he actually makes the ads for me. I didn't make them myself, but I can try to talk to him about that.
Okay, how about this?
Yeah.
Just to make it equal, put an advertisement for the Wikipedia on the Astropedia, about as much as the Astropedia ads for my Wikipedia.
You have to pay for that, dude.
Well, you probably
Alright,
want to contact
you
Mal because he's my manager. He does all the the grunt work on Asperpedia. I'm sure he'd be willing to sell you some ad space on Asperpedia. We could definitely try to work something like that out.
All right, well, Mel and I can talk through email. All right.
This is actually a pretty civil conversation, much more civil conversation than I thought it was going to be.
Like you say, we're on friendly terms right now, and I'd like to keep it that way because I got my start because of you. But to be honest, I want to be honest and frank with you.
Oh, here we go.
You made a couple of videos, and I don't watch all your videos, but I do try to keep up. I mean, I spend a lot of time drawing the comics, so I don't have a lot of time to, watch videos anymore. But I saw a couple of videos where you actually threatened me with,
Okay, well.
Right.
Yeah, okay, well.
Also the video where you wanted your dog to eat me.
Eat me in your
like that.
dreams.
Your dog to eat my soul. Well, death threats were kind of scary to begin with, but that was just the start.
Yeah, okay. I'll take that back as well. Sorry.
Chris then criticizes the creators of Asperchew for featuring blood and gore in their recent stories, and tells Alec to inform his readers in a disclaimer that Chris's Sonichu characters who appear in Asperchew are parodies.
Well, as you said, those weren't yours, though. You said those were copies. You said those were just, copies of...
Yeah, your versions just are just recreated facsimiles.
You're confused. I mean, you said in the comic that those were mine, but so they must be original, right? You said in the comic they weren't the chaotic combo, so they must be original. But then you came and put them. I don't get it. And you renamed them, and not just the combo, but you tried to retake my Asperchew. And Asperchew wasn't, a copy of anything. You renamed him Mitch Sonichu. I mean, Asperchew's mine. I don't really appreciate that. You accuse me of thievery, but then you go and try to take my Asperchew.
Okay, well, no, you did take my Sonichu, and made him claim him to be the original one, and even worse, you made him brother to Asperchew with the homosexual tendencies and whatnot. Even when you drew the
and whatnot.
When you drew the chaotic combo hedgehogs, you made Wild a homosexual when he is not.
Well, but that Wild's not yours. I mean, what does it matter if my Wild
time?
I mean, I felt it was depth to the character. I was just trying to give them a little personality.
Okay, well,
Little personality.
I mean, I never... Asperchew has a girlfriend. Dixie Chew.
No, actually, I read further in the book, and Dixie Chew dumped his ass.
Chris, don't mess with Chris. Okay, Chris is updated on the Asperchew lore. Okay, he's read through.
Oh, no, she doesn't mean that. They're destined to be together, Chris. I mean, can't you see those undertones? I mean, that's where this whole comic is going.
Can you see the undertones?
Does dump him? What does it matter? He went after a girl. He didn't go after a boy. Like you said, Sonichu is his brother. I mean, why would he? Even if he was gay, why would he go for his brother? That's just sick.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you
anyway,
think?
Okay, well, listen, how about this? In your comics, when you, in the future, or in re-referencing the past pages, the Sonichu that is Asperchew's brother, you just refer to him as Michael, and the wife you refer to him as Bobby, the Angelica, Trisha, etc., just like I said in my
But...
And Mitch can be Asperchew's nickname.
But Chris, those aren't really their characters' names. They have the same names.
Okay, well, you see, when I gave the chaotic combo characters those names originally in my books, those would be their nicknames. They're all Sonichus and those choose individually, but they're just of different types. Like, it looks like without the nickname.
So is Sonichu just like the name of the species? But why is he just named Sonichu? Like he just named after his species. Like and then same with Rosechew. Is Rosechew just the name for women Sonichus? There's all named Rosechews, and then there's like different types of them. But then the Sonichu and the Rosechew are just like, I don't know, it's normal. They're just the main ones for some reason. I'm a bit confused on the lore here.
It would be water Rosechew, flying Rosechew, fighting Sonichu,
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Well, see, there's one of the differences, though, because in my comics, those are really their names. I mean, Angelica, Punchy, Bubble.
No, you see, but those are actually their names in my book. In my book.
Their nicknames, you said. I mean,
Yeah.
in my comic, they're their actual names. That's the difference.
No, I'm talking in reference to the Pokemon game. You know, if you want to name your Bulbasaur, they call it giving it a nickname, but really it's just giving them their name.
Chris, my characters aren't Pokemon. I don't draw Pokemon. That's not how it works in my comic.
You have been drawing Pokemon. Sonichu
No.
is an electric hedgehog Pokemon.
I thought it was a Sonichu. I thought that.
Yeah, is he a? Yeah, so if Sonichu is a Pokemon, but Sonichus are like a thing in themselves. So are all the Sonichus Pokemon, or is Sonichu like a type of Pokemon? So is Sonichu a Sonichu type Pokemon? I'm a bit confused.
Is
I
an
thought that was
electric hedgehog. I make it perfectly clear that Sonichu and Roshu are electric hedgehog Pokemon.
Oh, okay. Well, I think the point of confusion there is where they're like I've never seen any Pokeballs in your comic or trainers. Or any of those
Right.
other
That,
Pokemon elements.
that makes sense.
Like, shouldn't they live in Pokeballs?
Okay. Yes, there's a Pokeball that especially catches Sonichus and Roshu called the S-Chew Ball, and there is a reference to that within the books.
So they're so special they have to get their own Pokeball to catch them.
Sonichu lives in like a house, doesn't he? I mean, he lives like a person who's
He
trained.
was, yeah.
Yeah, he's the only Pokemon. He has like a house, a wife, kids. He has like a job.
Okay, well, you see,
9 to
he was
5.
originally a wild
Wakes up at 5 a.m.
Pokemon, the original Sonichu. But the original Roshu was originally the Raichu that was caught and trained by the Pokemon trainer Kelly. Kel for short.
I actually didn't know.
The Sonichu lore is too confusing, man.
But I digress. The point is that Asper 2 and my version of the Chaotic Combo, all those characters, those are not Pokemon in my comics. I mean, Pokemon don't exist in the world of Asper 2. Like Asper 2, you know, he lives with his grandparents in a house. I mean, he's a person.
Okay, all right, but still, it just makes it sound like my characters when you talk about these Sonichu from Quickville.
But they're not your characters. We've established that. They're not yours. I mean, they're my characters.
I have
Original.
all
Like I
the
said, my comic's not a parody.
okay, Sonichu, and Roshu. I actually have paper registered copyrights on those, so I could sue you. But I'm trying to resolve this peacefully.
You have... Okay, so you have...
Yeah, look.
Yeah, so we've discussed this before. Him having the registered copyright does not actually mean that it's copyrighted to him, because if obviously if they looked at it, they wouldn't actually give him the copyright because it's a copy of two already existing works, which is not how copyright works. You can't just combine two IPs to make a new IP.
Under the copyright section on the Wikipedia.
But you said Sonichu is a Pokemon, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure Nintendo has the copyright claims of Pokemon.
Right.
So...
Still,
I mean, it's a good point. I might want to just contact Nintendo just to make sure everything's okay, to make sure I'm not stepping on their toes.
The thing is, though, he's also... I don't know if they were like this back then, but you know, you're going against a Nintendo here. Like, literally, if anyone informs Nintendo, like, Nintendo is the company that would literally take down some random-ass person's website because they're using Pokemon. You know, like, Nintendo is just the worst company at letting fans be happy. They just suck ass. They just copyright everything. They just don't let fans have any fun with their characters. You know, they made it where in Gmod, if you ever had a Nintendo character created in the game, you have to take it down. They take down all fan games ever made. I mean, they're just the worst company when it comes to fan creations. They hate their fans. So, like, if anyone actually did inform Nintendo, I don't think it would be against their character to actually just take down this random ass person's website, even if obviously it's not doing anything to them.
They have been contacted before and everything's okay, so you don't need to do that.
But, well then, I mean, how can you hold the copyright to a Pokemon?
The Virginia Library of Congress has allowed me.
Wouldn't it? Well, Virginia Library of Congress, you know, just can't tell Nintendo what to do. I mean, they can't tell Nintendo to just hand over copyrights to their creations to just anybody. I mean, you know, Nintendo could take, you know, the Virginia Library of Congress to court and say, hey, wait a minute, you know, you issued this copyright illegal.
Okay, look, well, let's just, okay, this is, what we're talking about right now, it just seems pointless to what we were originally talking about. let's just agree that.
Well, I don't think it's pointless. I mean, I'm just trying to establish the. I mean, you said you could sue me. I mean, I don't want to get sued. Nobody wants to get sued. But
Yeah,
I just don't understand how
yeah.
you could sue. That's what I'm confused at. I mean, you're confusing me, Chris. I mean, call me
Yeah.
naive, but I just.
Alex making great points here. Yeah, Alec is definitely the best troll since Liquid.
Don't get exactly what you're getting at.
Okay, well, let's just rewind and go back to what we agreed on before. Readjusting the.
He's not really doing anything harmful, really, in this. He's just making fun of Chris with his little comic books,
advertisement size.
putting advertisements on the website.
And possible Wikipedia ad on the Astropedia, and just like the science shoot in your book, as Michael's science shoot, and the other science shoes and those shoes that of the KI of the non-KI combo.
Okay.
But,
Well.
let's just rename them by the names I suggested in my book. In your book.
Well, all right. Like I said, I'll talk to Mal about the ads. As far as the renaming goes, I mean, I guess you can include, you can make up some characters, Mike, Sonichu, Mitch, Sonichu, and whatever. That's your comic book. If you want to create those characters, that's fine. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to rename my characters.
All right. Well, listen, Barry Power, my phone is running low, so perhaps we could talk again another time. Well, you take care.
I'd like to talk to you.
Later that day, Christian filmed a captain's log, which mostly focuses on the controversial Mitch Sonichu makeover in Sonichu issue 10, which had some readers asking if this meant that Mitch was a homosexual.
First off, I want to give a shout out
Every episode, man, every episode.
the Portland Sonichu Fan Club. There's their president, Megan, and their vice president, Brad, who did this song that's playing on in the background. So it's me on TV here. Thank you. And also to Becky, who's doing a paper on me as a modern cartoonist. I appreciate that.
Ah, yes. The modern cartoonist of our time, right here.
Anyway, I stand strong. I continue to draw the pages.
He is truly the modern Jack Kirby, if you really think about it.
Yes, they will be uploaded bulk. I mean, if I can't get 5 in a single day, then I'll still, I'll get them up the next day. But at least I'm doing the average of 2 pages a day. That stands strong. Anyway, also the makeover I did, I just answered a new bunch of messages in the mailbag. You know what? Look, I say this. Think about like on Home and Garden, the Learning Channel, even on Discovery, and even on MTV. There's such home remodeling, cooking cuisine, and myth-busting shows, and even Pimp My Ride. And would you call the people on those shows homosexuals for giving something else or somebody else a makeover? No, you don't. So that myth is busted. And also, I still say what I said against Evan and those people on there.
The video abruptly ends, possibly due to the camera running out of power.
Great.
Peter immediately followed up with a short video to complete the captain's log.
Anyway, I'll leave y'all with that. And obviously, the Asperpedia is going down.
I would love to see just a compilation of just the captain's logs, so we can just see the history just through these videos right here.
Because Alec and his crew are shooting themselves in the foot. I would never do blood and gore. That's just gross. I mean, if you're not queasy, then come back to science ship. Bye.
On January 25th, the Wallflower sent Chris an email listing her various websites, revealing herself to be an amateur writer. Christian admired her skill and wished for them to talk over the phone soon, wanting to exchange more information about each other and wishing to meet again soon. Her laughter and voice sweetly thrills my mind like robins twittering their song after the sunrise.
Ooh, look at that. Romance, man, right there. That's a good
In
line.
her email, Chris informed her of the details
Romantic.
concerning their upcoming future date, in which
Taco
they would go
Bell?
to a concert to see Celtic Woman, an Irish music act, and afterwards would spend some time at a nearby Taco Bell. He informed her that his mother would probably come with him.
Truly the best of dates. Taco Bell. I mean, come on now. Honestly, though, it would honestly be a good date if you're taking me on a date, dude. I love fucking Taco Bell. I don't know if women would like it though.
to meet her and her own parental escort. The wallflower thought this idea sounded nice. Chris then expressed his wish that they keep the option of a relationship open for when the right time comes. She then revealed that she was going to the concert with a friend of hers and offered to meet up some other time. All the while, Christian continued answering mailbags from fans, with uploads of new Sonichu pages becoming more spread out. In Mailbag 46, he defended his tardiness in updating the comic. I have been drawing and coloring on a daily basis. I cannot help if I have a life to enjoy too. I have joined a young adult social group, and I have met a lovely woman there who likes me too. We are hitting it off like two hip wallflowers. You have a life too. Understand my needs, and let me have my life. Another letter highlighted the discovery that the name Christian Weston Chandler was
Deshankwa.
an anagram for Antichrist Enhances World, and Devin Christopher George made another appearance telling him that he would
How do people figure out this shit, dude?
take legal action if Simone didn't die in Chris's story. I'm not gonna just let it go because you're not a great director. You're a comic artist, and you have to deal with legal issues involving your characters when they arise. You can't pretend a lawsuit isn't imminent and just hope it goes away if you ignore it. This is serious, and if you don't do something about this, I'll have to take some drastic measures. We're keeping track. In Mailbag 49, when asked about whether then US President Barack Obama
Oh, God.
should repeal the Don't Ask, Don't Tell military policy
Well, what do you think his opinion is, man?
concerning homosexuals to allow them more freedom and encouragement to join the army, Christian stated that the policy should be repealed so that more gay men could die in explosions.
How did he find an even more homophobic take than the government one? That's honestly impressive, man. I gotta applaud just how to find all these ways to be homophobic. I mean, it's just insane. I've never seen a man go out of his way this much to be homophobic.
It was also around this time that he was linked to a fan
That's
forum
hilarious.
called Sonichu Forum, where he conversed with presumed fans and answered their questions for about 4 days. On January 28th, Alec managed to get Chris to answer his phone to have another talk.
I would have expected to call at 9:30, but anyway.
I actually did try to call at 9:30. It didn't get an answer, so I thought I'd try again. You're kind of a difficult man to get a hold of, Chris.
Yeah, I can
All right.
talk for a few minutes, so let's try not to belabor this conversation.
They discussed Chris's ongoing woes concerning ads on Wikipedia, copyright issues, and a problem Chris had with Alec's character being named after Asperger's syndrome.
Chris, we don't choose our names. I mean, our names are given. I mean, think of it this way. You know, the name Asperger, if you think of that as a detriment, I don't, but if you interpret the comic that way, think of it as a personal, a sort of character flaw, if you will, that he has to work to overcome. And all good characters have character flaws. Sometimes characters don't always live the happiest lives in fiction, but that's part of what makes good fiction.
Yeah. But still, I mean, with that, think about it. I mean, what if your parents had named you Asper? Because they were, like I was looking for, you had Asperger. You would have Asperger's.
Okay, Chris, that's part of the character flaw. Asperger has things weighing him down. He has curses, and that's part of what makes a good character. I mean, you wouldn't make a character that's just, all powerful and perfect in every way. And
Well, that's kind of what the Sonichu comics are about. I don't think Sonichu, what character flaws does fucking Sonichu have, or especially Chris Chan's Sonichu. Other than I think it is canonical that he has a version in the comics, but other than that,
no real problems. Would you? That'd be kind of boring. Complex characters have problems that they overcome.
I mean, as an individual, within his own world, outside of your control, Asperger would not want that name. He would be in agreement with me and probably want to change his name to something like Mitch. Right? Have you ever watched the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yes, I have. It's a good movie.
Yeah, you got the whole toon world there, and within that, it would coincide with the comic book world, and every individual comic, published or unpublished, drawn all together. And within that world actually would reside your Asperger, but he would be with his individual thoughts. If she gave him an adult attitude, with his individual thoughts, he would hate having the name of asperger because it emphasizes his mental problem. And he's like,
That's true. He's making sense. I don't know how this connects to Who Framed Roger Rabbit though.
of wanting to move on from that and become more acceptable in society, that he will not want a name that they can feel
Okay,
like
that's
as if he's still living it, even after he's fully recovered from it.
Recovered from it? Ah, yes, I have beaten Asperger's.
okay, but
I've done it.
You know, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? That was still a movie, and everything in it was predetermined by the movie writers and the director. I mean, there is no, like alternate cartoon world in reality. I mean, cartoon characters don't actually think and feel things.
You obviously are naive about that because you're not understanding that possibility of that universe actually existing.
Wait, does Chris think that? Okay, so, oh god, what have we reached here? What have we reached? So Chris actually believes that the cartoon characters that he draws exist in an alternate reality. That all the comic book characters and all the cartoon characters actually do exist in an alternate reality as he's drawing them. Well, that's not good. That's not good, Chris. That's very much not good. Does that include all the porn he's drawn about people he knows in real life? Does that include the She Came for Quick Pick? Oh god. Oh god, this is not good, Chris. What are you saying here? Guy, we were starting to get a little bit better with your mental, dude. You didn't have a sweetheart for a little bit. You were just kind of yelling at trolls. But I don't know what this is. Chris, what are you talking about?
So you do believe that when an artist creates a cartoon character, that character actually becomes real? Is that what you're saying to me?
Within that universe, yes.
But the universe is fake. I mean, the Asper 2 universe exists on paper and in my computer. It's whatever I write. Here's a question for you. If you think a character would want, an appropriate name, a good name, not a name that, calls them out on something or sets them back. Sonichu is the name of a species, correct? Sonichus and Rose.
Yeah, this is what I was getting at earlier.
Yeah, but
The Asperger comics are drawn way better also than the fucking Sonichu ones.
he was the first original Sonichu, and she was the original Rose Chew. But
they still want their own name.
And
Yeah, it's like Adam and Eve weren't called man and woman. So,
each came up with their name on their own. They did not need a nickname to go with that.
Would you be comfortable if the name Christian Weston Chandler, didn't exist and you were just called man or person or something?
Okay, well, so what if you actually conceived a child with your girlfriend or wife? Then would you feel that you actually own that child, even after you had raised it from being a baby to, let's say...
what is he talking about, dude?
Where that child would actually feel more like an individual, independent being?
Chris, you do understand that a child, a human being, is substantially more than a character, right? They're not the same thing. They're not even close. Of course I would name a child. Children are real, and children are not our property. I mean, if I had a child, I would give it all the love and support it needed, but it is its own person.
Chris is losing his mind about the comics, dude. He's starting to think that the comics are real. He's blurring the line between reality and fiction. Oh god, Chris, what's going on here? He's too deep into the comics. Oh no.
The character is just, it's whatever you draw on paper or in Photoshop.
What if she was on the other foot? What if Asperger created you?
Well, then I'd be a comic character myself, and I wouldn't have any thoughts and feelings. So that's a moot point.
You think that comic character would not have their own thoughts and feelings?
Yes.
Are naive.
Chris, you have told me that you think that a comic character...
So yeah, Chris officially thinks people are dumb if they don't think that pieces of paper have feelings.
...is fundamentally...
oh god.
Much of a person as a real human being. That is the naive thought.
No,
I'm the writer. I'm like the god of the Asper 2 world. I decide what goes on in Asper 2's world. I decide who and what Asper 2 is and what he thinks and feels, if anything, which he doesn't, because it's still just a character on paper. And when I put the pen down, Asper 2 stops being there. nothing exists in Asper 2's world that I haven't drawn.
Boy,
And it's naive to think that there's anything more. I think we should agree.
The way Chris is talking, he's talking like this guy's just an idiot for saying all this.
Because
Alright.
we both have our own thoughts. I'm actually getting some letters about Sonichu, about why you're not updating daily, and I was kind of curious about that.
Well, for your information, I am updating daily. I draw a column on 2 pages a day. I can't help it if I don't have access to my computer, or if I can't get to it right away. Besides which, my biological clock has been fickle on me, and so making me fall asleep earlier.
Maybe we could get an alarm clock. I'm just kind of confused why I would spend an hour to draw a page, but not take that extra 60 seconds to upload it.
It takes more than 60 seconds to scan it and put it in Photoshop, then upload it. Now, it probably would take like half an hour for all that.
I didn't know that you did Photoshop work with your pages. What do you use Photoshop for, if I may ask?
The text, right?
To change it from handwritten text to more legible typed text.
You know, if I remember right, I think kind of one of the criticisms you had about Asper 2 was that it was not completely, hand-drawn original. Because I do use Photoshop in part of my creative process, but it sounds like you actually do kind of the same thing. Which is, that's fine. I mean, digital media is where, the art world is going. But, see, I thought that you drew it all...
This is the weirdest conversation. Because Alec really isn't seeming like a troll here. I mean, obviously he is. He knows what he's doing, creating these fucking Asper 2 comics, right? But he's really sounding so sensible here. Like, Chris has just gone off the deep end. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, dude.
All on paper and then...
Well, for your information, I did draw it all on paper. The only part that I edit in Photoshop is the text, what you read.
Well, it just seems a little hypocritical that you do use Photoshop in the creative process, but you criticize me for it. I mean, don't you think?
No, actually what I thought is that you skip the hand drawing and you draw everything on your Photoshop with the computer mouse.
What I do, I use a tablet and I draw on that. And that's basically the same thing as pen and paper, except what I draw just goes right onto the computer screen. So I don't use a mouse. It's the same.
Okay, but still it's crappy compared to mine. Even my mother agrees.
Oh, hey, come on. That's a little insulting, Chris.
Dang.
What do you mean crappy?
Can you imagine? The Chris show Asper 2 to his mom, to Barb. Oh god, that's not good.
My mother says that my comic is, the most beautiful comic she's ever seen too. I kind of think that's just because she's a supportive mother. Mothers are supposed to support their children in their endeavors. I mean, it's okay to disagree. I'm curious why you think it's crappy.
Because it's computer drawn. It's not originally hand drawn.
I just told you it is hand drawn. It's hand drawn on a tablet.
You don't have the old-fashioned original pencil or pen marking. That's what I have.
So, because I don't have, smudge marks on my paper, is that what you mean? Okay, by comparison, could I say that our car is not, true original transportation because, people should be using old-fashioned horses? I mean, you use Photoshop for lettering effects. We're one and the same here, Chris.
Alec then brings up the issue of Simone Lo.
Evan wanted me to talk to you about that, about using Simon Chew. Simon Chew was his creation. He used that without permission. And he's asking
Chris is not a fan of the copyright system unless someone copies his stuff.
time not to get rid of Simon Chew and Simone Lo or whatever.
Yeah, but actually, Simone Lo was never really inspired from Simon Chew. I took an original Rose Chew, I changed her to a brown color, gave her the complexion, added an armadillo shell, and then a few drills in appropriate places.
So kind of like how I took a Sonic and made him yellow and gave him a goatee and glasses and a Buddha belly, and...
I love the continued use throughout these few videos of the term Buddha belly by everyone. Like, he just casually says that.
Thus was born Asper 2. I mean, why didn't you just say that to Evan in the first place? Because he's been emailing you for a long time. Let's see, I'm looking at the Simone Lo page on your Wikipedia here. You say that about on or before August 26, 2008, I received an email from Evan George submitting his Sonichu fan art to me, then later submitted his idea for Simon Chu. It did not strike me as good at first, but for a few months I wanted to create a ground type. So from Simon Chu, I created Simona Rose Chu. That's on the Simona article on your Wikipedia. I mean, that's smoking gun, Chris. That's proof that you used Simon Chu as a base.
Don't so dirty with that one.
Attack you with this, but I really think this is evidence that you should get rid of Simon Chu and Simona. Write them out, because the facts are right there, Chris. I want to let you know that you do need to comply with Evan's demands, because he's talking about litigation, and he said that he'd back off if you acknowledge in the comic and write Simon Chu and Simona out, and say that they will be done and gone forever. I mean, would you be willing to do that? Write them out.
I'll think about it.
Okay, well, don't think too long. I mean, this is a serious issue.
Don't think too long.
Anyway, I'm getting tired right now.
Okay, well, maybe I'll let you go. You have a good night, Chris.
Right. Good night.
Good night.
As another creator managed to converse about the creative process with Chris, his peculiar attachment to his characters was made crystal clear.
Yeah.
Bigfoot had become more than a hobby, more than an ambitious dream of stardom, even more than a way to live out his fantasies. In Christian's mind, at least, it had become a tangible reality.
Yeah, he's going off the deep end, man. This is not a good thing, man. He just keeps going deeper into the comic world.
Inhabited by living, breathing cartoon characters. For as he had stated before, Chris was truly young at heart.
As the outro music plays. Alright, so that is the end of part 23. This one featured a lot more talking about the actual comics books in themselves, not much happened in Chris's actual life. Only talking about the comic books and the fight between him and Alec Benson Leary and the Asper franchise. Yeah, I think the main part of that episode, the main part is the revelation that Chris actually thinks his comic books are a real universe that actually exist. Which is not good. He's going off the deep end further into his comic book world, and he's taking it more and more seriously, which is why he takes everything so seriously and no one tries to copy him and everything. Yeah, he's getting more and more delusional as the series goes on, and I feel like that's not a good process as we're going to keep on deeper into the series, but yeah, okay, so part 24 should be coming out in a few days, the reaction to it, and yeah, make sure to subscribe and like to support a small creator. The link on screen to the whole series compilation reaction is probably on screen right now, so go react to that. And yeah, bye.